Let's get one thing straight when country sweetheart Maggie Baugh decided to speak out. Nobody expected what came next. Because this isn't just another messy Hollywood rumor. This is the kind of scandal that makes Nashville tremble and PR teams lose sleep. Imagine a world where the line between mentor and lover blurs. Where backstage whispers suddenly turn into full-blown viral confessions. Keith Urban, yes, that Keith Urban. The polished superstar married to Nicole Kidman is now tangled in a story so wild. Sounds scripted by reality TV producers on caffeine. But here's the twist. Maggie isn't denying it. In fact, her latest clarification only made things worse. Did she just expose the country music industry's dirtiest secret? Was this a mentorship gone wrong or something far more explosive? Fans are losing their minds. Insiders are leaking screenshots. And Maggie's so-called exclusive statement has lit the internet on fire. And if you thought this was just clickbait gossip, buckle up, because what she revealed doesn't just shake her career. It cracks open the glossy illusion of Nashville itself. Stay tuned, because the truth Maggie just dropped might end more than one reputation tonight. The moment Maggie's name got linked to Keith Urban, the country music scene went from calm to chaos overnight. Fans who once saw Maggie as this sweet, guitar-playing prodigy are now side-eyeing every lyric she ever wrote. Wondering if those unwritten love songs were secretly confessions? It all began with a mysterious backstage clip from a Nashville benefit concert. Grainy, shaky, and just long enough to spark millions of views in a matter of hours. The video showed Keith and Maggie in what looked like a too-close-for-comfort moment behind the stage curtain. No sound, no context, just chemistry that screamed controversy. Within hours, hashtags like #Keith and Maggie and #Urban Affairs started trending. And the internet did what it does best: dig up everything. Suddenly, old interviews, subtle song dedications, and social media likes became evidence. The whispers turned into paragraphs, and before sunrise, major gossip outlets were calling it the biggest betrayal in country music since the Reba breakup saga. Keith Urban's camp immediately went into damage control, releasing a perfectly polished statement about professional collaboration and mentorship. But let's be honest, nobody was buying it. Not after that video. Not after the fact that Maggie suddenly wiped half her Instagram posts. And not after her cryptic story caption that read, "Some truths can't stay hidden forever." Fans took that as a confession. Tabloids treated it as a headline, and the PR fire spread like gasoline on hot pavement. Sources allegedly close to Maggie began whispering about late-night studio sessions and private writing retreats, and one insider even claimed that Maggie had become Keith's creative muse in more ways than one. Meanwhile, Nicole Kidman, Hollywood royalty, the calm center of every storm, went silent. No posts, no statements, just a sudden unfollow of Maggie on Instagram that made more noise than any public statement could. That one click fueled 1,000 think pieces. Was Nicole done pretending? Was she quietly preparing her legal team while maintaining her Oscar-winning poise? Nobody knew. But every move, every silence, every cryptic lyric from Maggie's upcoming single added another layer to the scandal. The country world thrives on image-clean smiles, cowboy boots, family love songs, and this affair. Rumors sliced right through that illusion by midweek. What began as a blurry clip had spiraled into a full-blown national obsession. Talk shows, TikTok investigators, and even rival country stars weighed in. Some defended Maggie, calling her young and manipulated by power. Others labeled her a career climber who played the game too well. But behind the noise, the real question remained: what was Maggie about to reveal next? Because when she promised to set the record straight, it didn't sound like a denial. It sounded like a warning. And everyone, Keith, Nicole, and the entire Nashville industry knew that once Maggie opened her mouth, the entire foundation of country music's perfect facade could crumble in seconds. When Maggie finally decided to speak, she didn't choose a glossy magazine or a late-night talk show. She went live on her own Instagram. No filters, no rehearsed answers, just her voice trembling between truth and defiance. Over 3 million people tuned in as Maggie sat in her dimly lit living room, strumming her guitar before dropping the kind of confession that makes PR teams faint. She started with, "I didn't ask to be anyone's secret," and the internet froze. It wasn't a denial, was a declaration. Within minutes, clips of her live spread across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube like wildfire. Everyone had a theory. Some said she was talking about Keith Urban directly. Others believed it was a coded message to expose the entire system that protects male stars while destroying women who get too close. And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, Maggie mentioned songs that were never meant to be heard, implying that there were unreleased tracks written during her mentorship with Keith. That single sentence became the spark for every investigative CHANNEL online. An anonymous source allegedly sent in a snippet of one such song, a soft ballad titled Under. The Neon Lysan fans swore the lyrics mirrored Keith's touring schedule. Coincidence? Doubtful? Every beat, every hidden metaphor felt like a puzzle piece pointing straight at the affair. "You told me secrets under studio lights, said your home was only for show," Maggie sang in the leaked demo. That line alone sent social media into meltdown mode. Suddenly, journalists began chasing leads about private studio sessions built under confidential collaborations, luxury hotel bookings under fake names, and hush-hush meetings with executives who apparently wanted it all buried. One insider claimed that a record label executive tried offering Maggie a settlement to keep things artistic, which only made the situation look worse. Keith Urban's team panicked, releasing a follow-up statement calling Maggie's live stream emotionally charged fiction and reminding the public of Keith's long-standing integrity. But the internet wasn't buying the script this time. Screenshots of flirty text exchanges allegedly between Maggie and Keith began circulating, complete with timestamped photos from the same venues. While none were officially verified, the damage was done. Maggie didn't deny them either. She simply posted, "Sometimes art imitates real life too closely." That one sentence broke the internet in half. Her fanbase grew overnight, with some calling her a truth teller, exposing the industry's double standards, while others accused her of destroying a family for clout. But the real bombshell came from a supposed insider on a Nashville podcast who claimed Nicole Kidman had already met with divorce attorneys. It wasn't proven, but that didn't stop major tabloids from running the story as fact. The entire Urban brand built on love songs and wholesome charm was suddenly hanging by a thread. And as Maggie's silence grew thicker after her cryptic posts, everyone knew she wasn't done. She was loading something that could turn rumor into revelation days after her viral livestream. Maggie disappeared, no posts, no sightings, not even a comment. But then, out of nowhere, a mysterious Google Drive link began circulating among journalists and gossip pages. It was labeled "The Real Story Maggie Baugh." Inside were voice memos, studio clips, and emails allegedly exchanged between her and Keith during their so-called creative partnership. Whether real or staged, the content was explosive. One memo had Keith's voice whispering about keeping things low until the tour ends. Another showed Maggie breaking down mid-session, saying, "I can't be invisible anymore." Within hours, #UrbanLeaks took over the internet, forcing Keith's management into full lockdown mode. His legal team began sending cease and desist letters left and right, but the damage was already irreversible. Fans felt betrayed, sponsors started pulling endorsements, and industry insiders whispered that Keith's next album might never see the light of day. What started as a rumor was now a credibility crisis, and Maggie's silence was being mistaken for strategy. The more she vanished, the more the world obsessed. Meanwhile, Nicole Kidman made her first public appearance since the scandalar red carpet event in New York. Wearing a sharp black gown and no wedding ring, cameras went wild. Her icy smile said everything. She wasn't here to explain. She was here to reclaim control. A journalist shouted, "Nicole, any comment on Maggie Baugh?" And her response was a single line: "Every story has two truths." That statement alone sent social media into conspiracy overdrive. Was she confirming the affair? Dismissing it? Or hinting that something even bigger was being hidden from the public? Nobody knew, and that's exactly how the urban camp wanted it. But Maggie's fans weren't letting it go. They demanded accountability, launching hashtags like Justice for Maggie and Expose the Machine, accusing Nashville's elite of silencing a young woman for telling her truth. Then came the ultimate twist. A leaked draft of a tell-all book proposal allegedly written by Maggie herself, titled Strings Attached, the song they tried to bury. Publishers were already fighting for it before it was even confirmed real. If that manuscript exists, it could destroy careers, expose cover-ups, and drag a whole network of executives into the fire. Rumors claim it details not just her alleged affair with Keith, but also the manipulation, the contracts, and the threats she faced when she tried to walk away. And with every passing hour, fans were waiting for Maggie's next move, the public statement, the proof, the final blow. But Maggie stayed silent, and that silence became louder than any confession. The country music industry suddenly looked less like a family and more like a facade, built on image, money, and fear. And as one insider put it, if Maggie really releases that book, Nashville will never be the same again. So now the question remains, was Maggie a victim of power and manipulation? Or the mastermind of a perfectly orchestrated scandal? Because in this storm of fame, betrayal, and blurred truths, one thing is clear: nobody comes out clean when the music stops. So what do you believe? Was Maggie silenced by the industry? Or did she play the game better than anyone else? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story is far from over. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.